Game shutout on opening day over the Astros. His first 8 starts that year, he won them all, and Fernando Mania was born as he went on to win Rookie of the Year and Cy Young and a World Series in that '81 season. And we are honoring Fernando today at Dodger Stadium and throughout our broadcast here on Sportsnet LA. Dodgers going for the sweep today behind Clayton Kershaw, winning game 1 1-0, winning last night 9-5. And here is the lineup that Kershaw will see in game 3. Victor Robles leads it off. Then Trey Turner and one of the great hitters in the game, Juan Soto. Ryan Zimmerman bats cleanup. Jordy Mercer, the 5-hitter and second baseman, with Starlin Castro at third. Yadiel Hernandez making his first start of the season. And Jonathan Lucroy doing the catching for Max Scherzer. No, for Kershaw, 6 runs on 10 hits in his season opener, opening day in Colorado, but he followed that up with a much different outing Monday in Oakland, 1 run over 7 innings.
A special day for Clayton Kershaw taking the mound. The first time after receiving his World Championship ring, and boy, it was an emotional day, and I'm sure he's got a few emotions on the mound here before he throws that very first pitch.
Here it comes, and off we go. Robles goes around, strike 1. That'll go down as a swing and a miss. He had 21 of those against Oakland on Monday, the most that he's had all in 4 years. Curve for strike 2.
65 inches, that curveball. Can you believe it? Like 5.5 feet. At Dodger Stadium, that's what it does. In Colorado, it was only 5 feet, and they didn't get quite as many swings and misses.
Bouncing ball to Seager at short. Robles out number 1.
The depth of Clayton breaking balls in his last outing was accentuated here at sea level. The slider almost tripled in movement as far as the right or left to right movement. Really threw a lot of breaking balls, 48% of them.
That was the 6th highest percentage in his big league career that he threw that slider. Trey Turner swings at the first one that he sees and knocks a base hit into center. So that's first fastball Kershaw is allowed to hit on since opening day at Colorado, as Turner gets the first base hit of the day.
If there is an Achilles heel to Clayton's arsenal, it is the first pitch. Hitters do not want to get to the breaking stuff, and he throws a lot of first pitch strikes, and a lot of them are fastballs.
Well, hard not to smile watching this matchup. Clayton Kershaw and Juan Soto. Of course, the last time they met up, Soto had the last left. Home run against Kershaw in game 5 of the division series in '19. That's fouled in strike 1. Since then, Soto's gotten better and better. How about his game yesterday? 2 home runs for the Nationals, including in the 9th inning. After he fouls the ball off his foot, falls behind 0-2. Takes him a couple minutes before the pain subsides enough for him to get back into the box. Crouches down, 2-strike stance, whack into the 5th or 6th row.
No, that's not.
He's got a little Barry Bonds in him as far as when he finally gets a pitch to hit, he hits it. You know, Barry was the kind of hitter that everybody was pitching around, and he might see one pitch in at bat that he could actually swing at. And that's the way Soto has been so far this season.
Still just 22 years old. Kershaw's 0-1. Popped up. And it'll get to the seats 0-2. Nationals' first time they watched Juan Soto, it was as a pitcher. With a low 80s fastball, decent command. But in the second game of the doubleheader where they watched him pitch in game 1, he played center field. He went 3 for 3, and they said, okay, so we saw him as a pitcher, but this guy can hit a little bit too. The year later, they saw him at a showcase tournament in Florida, and they pulled him off to the side, met with him in the cage, and had him have a little private tryout, and presented him a formal offer right there on the spot, and he accepted on the spot. Hits it back to Kershaw, throws low to second, and that's all they'll get. Soto aboard on the fielder's choice. 2 gone here in the first inning.
First baseman number 11, Ryan Zimmerman.
Good to get him out. Got him to chase a little slider low and away. A little bit of a stumble from Clayton to get the feed to Gavin Lux. And that kind of slowed down the whole attempt for the double play.
Runner at first, 2 gone, and here's Ryan Zimmerman. Juan Soto was 6 years old when Ryan Zimmerman made his big league debut with the Nats. Now in his 16th year, and he takes strike 1 from Kershaw, who has thrown strikes on all 8 of his pitches.
It's pretty much the first one that they haven't hacked at. They know he's going to attack. Both these pitchers throw all kinds of strikes and don't walk people.
Curveball misses, 1-1. Zimmerman 3 hits yesterday. He's hitting .471 in this first week for Washington. Yeah, they had a season high 15 hits as a team last night, but they grounded into a couple double plays. They made an out on the bases. And regardless of what you do offensively, if you give up 9 runs, it can be hard to win. Good stop by Barnes, ball 2.
Yeah, their offense looks like it's going to get on track. They've just got to get some hits with runners in scoring position. But this is starting to look like a formidable lineup.
And they're still without 2 of their best hitters, Kyle Schwarber and Josh Bell, who they acquired this offseason. Those guys still out with the COVID contact tracing protocols. Now, Zimmerman was signed to be Bell's backup, more or less. Got back on a 1-year deal, but in there every day until they get Bell back. On a 2-1 from Kershaw. It's a bouncing ball gently to short. There's Seager. That's the inning. Kershaw puts up a 0 in his first time out there. It's Max Scherzer's turn on a perfect day at Dodger Stadium. Today with the right-handed pitcher, Lux will draw the leadoff role. Seager hits second, Turner third. Muncy out of the cleanup spot at first. Taylor hitting 5th. Edwin Rios makes his first career start in right. McKinstry's in left, and Barnes catches Clayton Kershaw. Max Scherzer now 36 years old in his 14th major league season. Lux swings at a first pitch fastball into short left field into the bright sunshine. It's caught by Turner, who gets his legs taken out by Hernandez. And all Nationals fans holding their breath right now.
If it's in his thigh area, the little Charlie horse you get and bruise just as a shock, that would be the safest place to get hit. Castro, Hernandez, and Turner. Turner running the fastest, of course, then eases up, and Hernandez really couldn't captain the play because he wasn't sure he was going to get it. And Turner, coming from off to the side, catches the ball, and he gets a left shoulder to the quad, it looks like.
First start of the season for Yadier Hernandez, and literally the first pitch, he's in a collision with the franchise shortstop. Speaking of, Corey Seager takes ball 1 from Scherzer. Corey has a home run against Scherzer back in the division series in 2006. Corey's Rookie of the Year campaign. Dodgers have faced Scherzer 9 times since he went to Washington. He's been really good against them, and especially here. 3 starts at Dodger Stadium as a National. Nationals have won all of them, and he's got a 1.29 ERA. His 2-0 is foul, 2-1.
You talked about the Kershaw-Soto matchup as a must-watch. This is a pretty good one, too. Stars all over the field.
2-1 pitch. Seager pulls it on the ground into the shift. Jordy Mercer out there in short right field throws Seager out. 2 up and 2 down against Scherzer, who's trying to get off to a better start than he did against Atlanta on Tuesday. He gave up 4 runs on 4 solo home runs over 6 innings of work, and that's just how it's going to have to be a lot of times against Max Scherzer. If you're going to get to him, it's going to be via the home run, because even at 36 years old, even in his 14th big league career, it's hard to string together rallies.
When he makes a mistake, you got to capitalize on it with an extra base hit, because you're not going to get many mistakes.
Ball one on Turner, who has 3 home runs in his career against Scherzer. On this 1-0 pitch, hits one in the air, deep left field, but playable for Hernandez, moving towards the corner to finish off a 1-2-3 first on 7 pitches. By your Southern California Lexus dealers.
Keep using all 3 outs, because the Dodgers have been #1 in baseball with 2-out RBIs, and that's been a large part of their offense. Command over control. These guys throw strikes, but who's going to hit the edges the most and finish the job? The sweep, and the bullpen needs to be clean.
Major League best 7-2 so far this season, but looking for their first sweep as Kershaw delivers to Jody Mercer, strike 1 with the slider. The Nationals won the World Series in 2019, then finished in last place in the short season last year. This year they've gotten off to a 1-4 start. Back-to-back strikes with back-to-back sliders. 0-2.
Slider recorded all 3 outs in the first inning. The base hit was on a fastball.
Coming back inside with an 0-2 pitch. 3 sliders, 3 strikes, 1 gone.
He is filling the strike zone, and the breaking ball is the most effective so far. He's shown the curveball, bounced it a few times, landed for a strike, but that slider has been good.
And if Kershaw and the Dodgers get 10 strikeouts today, you know what they're going to get. And by they, I mean everybody. A free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. A Jack in the Box. Now at LA area restaurants.
Buy something to wash it down and get the Jumbo Jack.
That's right. Strike 1 on Starlin Castro. Castro 1 for 9 in this series. Veteran third baseman. Takes a fastball a little bit inside. First non-slider that Kershaw's thrown in this inning, and the first ball.
They've been wearing Castro out inside. He's been taking some big cuts to try and catch up with it.
Curveball. No swing. Ball 2.
I like the sequencing. Speed him up in and then slow him down with that curveball. The hitter in his mind is, maybe I'll start a little early and guess inside, and he did that. Got the curveball, but was able to hold up.
Good call. Tambolino down at first today. Oh, that's good, isn't it? 2-2.
He only got about 2.5 inches of break on that, left to right in Colorado. He got over 7 here at Dodger Stadium in his last start.
In Oakland.
Oakland, thank you. But good, close enough.
Yeah.
It's California.
California.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, same governor.
That's true. And 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming to Castro. That's a base hit into center field, and for Starlin Castro, only his 3rd career hit in 33 at-bats against Clayton Kershaw.
He picked on a slider that didn't bite much. This one kind of laid over the middle of the plate. You see where Austin Barnes' glove is, down low and in, trying to get that chase again. This one kind of spun and hung over the middle.
Two hits against Kershaw so far. Now faces Yadiel Hernandez, who was a star in Cuba and defected when he was 28 years old. A lot of times guys defect much earlier than that, but he didn't get to the United States until he was 28. Signed a contract a year after that and made his big league debut last year as a 32-year-old. Takes high, ball 1. His first career home run in the majors was a walk-off home run. That made him the oldest player ever to hit his first walk-off and have it be his first overall homer. Making his first start for the Nationals this year today. 1 ball, 1 strike against Kershaw.
You really don't mind when you hang a slider that it ends up being a single, because you're just glad it didn't end up over the fence. It's one of those mistakes that you're glad about the results.
Kershaw's faced the Nationals 22 times in his career. 13-4 with a 2.82. He would love to make a new, most recent memory against him after 2019. 2-1 pitch. Dug out, fly to center. Routine for Taylor. 2 gone.
Catcher number 28, Jonathan Lucroy.
.34-year-old Jonathan Lucroy, who signed with the Nationals this past weekend. And they had both their catchers go on the injured list with the COVID contact tracing. He's had a hit in all 4 games in which he's played. Kershaw's first pitch is down and in, ball 1. Good to see a couple 92s in this first inning, by the way. Kershaw's average about 90.5 thus far.
Good to seeing that he could get the blood flowing this early in the day. Sometimes for certain starting pitchers, it's hard when all of a sudden your body clock has to change. You have to be at the peak of your energy at a different time. And this is one of those days that you think you might go toe-to-toe with somebody, and one mistake could be the difference in the game.
Do you think about that when you're facing another guy like Scherzer?
I did, especially when you got to a position where, do I take the risk to prevent 1 run?
Way up into that sunshine. McKinstry coming on, still coming, makes the call and the catch. And a couple scoreless innings for Clayton Kershaw. We're off and rolling in LA. No score, middle 2. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. The triple bonus Jack combo is back at Jack in the Box. Try it today for just $5.99.
First baseman number 13, Max.
The legendary Fernando Valenzuela. Fernando Valenzuela day here at Dodger Stadium. We're planning on having Fernando dropping into the booth sometime mid-game today to visit with us. I know one of your all-time favorite teammates.
He is, and still great to have him up here in the booth doing the Spanish broadcast and see him every day. He is so much fun, and I'm not sure his dry sense of humor will come across in the interview, but he sure got one.
Muncy leads off the inning against Scherzer and grounds it foul. We talked last night about Mike Brito discovering Julio Urias on a trip to Mexico where he had no intentions of seeing Julio Urias. Same thing with Fernando Valenzuela. Mike Brito was scouting shortstop in a Mexican League game. And couldn't take his eyes off that guy. 0-1 from Scherzer is down and in, ball 1.
Fernando with every pitch a glance to the heavens before he came at you with the fastball, the curveball, or the screwball.
Muncy yanks a base hit down the line to right. Soto was positioned over there. He's already there and will hold Muncy to a single.
Max Muncy continues to find ways to get on base. Top spin line drive here down the line. A predominantly pull hitter in the air, so Soto was already over there. And pretty routine single.
The on base for Muncy above 550 now. Second in the National League behind New York's Brandon Nimmo. That's how you know it's still very, very early in the year. When you're on base is 550 and you're not leading the league.
Exactly.
Leadoff man on, first base runner of the game for the Dodgers, and here's Taylor. He had his first home run of the year last night. There's a no doubt 3-run home run, and here it is on StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
He hit it a long way. The longest for him. Little topspin on that one too. It really wasn't a backspin. There's more pop in there.
1-0 offering on the corner for a strike. 1-1. Scherzer in the final year of his 7-year contract with the Nationals. 7 years, $210 million, and money well spent. You know, his first 5 years, he was right around league average. But since turning 28 years old, in 8 seasons, he's won 3 Cy Youngs. And prior to last year, had finished in the top 5 in Cy Young voting 7 consecutive years. Last year took a bit of a step back. He had a 3.74 ERA. Highest home run rate of his career, highest walk rate in a decade. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nationals are hoping that had that been a full season, those numbers would have normalized. Rest of the league is hoping they're seeing finally some decline from Scherzer.
Wins, strikeouts, and innings eater right there. Number 1.
Bearing down on Cy Young on the all-time strikeout list. 23rd all-time is Scherzer. Here's his 2-2. Taylor sends one the other way. Back goes Soto, shy of the track to put it away.
Right field, number 43, Edwin Rios.
1-on-1 out here in the second, and up comes Edwin Rios. We're talking about Dodgers perhaps having to hit some home runs today against a guy like Scherzer, and that goes into Dave Roberts' mindset, putting Rios into the lineup in a position he's never played. First career start in right field. Any way to get his bat in the lineup today. 1-0.
Out early today, taking some fly balls in right from some soft toss that the coaches were playing and swinging it out there towards him. They had him going in all directions.
I had 2 balls and no strikes. So Scherzer misses with a couple of fastballs. So Edwin Rios playing the outfield in the major leagues. Swings and misses. 2-1. When he was at FIU, he was a really good shortstop, but then blew out his shoulder in the Cape Cod League and was out for a long time. He said kind of fell into a depression about what it was going to mean for his draft future, and he overate. He put on way too much weight. So one of the first things he did once the Dodgers drafted him was go work on cutting a bunch of weight. And the air to center field for Robles. He's got it. Rios is out number 2. But I mean, to get into the shape he's in now, I mean, he is like a bodybuilder. And this has not always been how he's looked. He's put a lot of work into to get into a spot where he could play right field on a day where Dave Roberts said, hey, I want to get your bat in the lineup, but I'm going to have you play a position you're not used to playing in order to do it. 2 out for McKinstry. Gets a call there, ball 1. McKinstry had the go-ahead RBI hit yesterday early on as part of that 5-run second inning. He's starting in left field today, second time he's started there. It's another guy who is a career infielder who's starting to play more outfield. 2-0.
Zach can play all over the field, and he can hit the ball all over the field. One of those guys that's very hard to defend. They play him to pull on the infield, and they play him straight away in the outfield.
Change up, 2-1. That's a pitch that was one of the best changeups in baseball, 2017 through 19, but the league hit above 300 against Scherzer's change last year. Turned it back up with a fastball, 2-2.
He's always had a devastating slider, but he's added the cutter as he's gotten older. Sometimes the curveball is on. A lot of times the changeup has been on. And the velocity's down a tick, but it's not at a place where you're going to worry because he's still in the 94, mid-94 range.
Spoils a cutter there. The velocity down a touch, but it's still very high spin. Gives that rising illusion. And so it's utilized best up at the top of the zone. Opponents hit 135 against it when he put it up there. Muncy off first. He had a leadoff single. 2-2 pitch again. Very high. Full count. And now Muncy will get a head start. There he goes. Here it comes. McKinstry yanks it foul. Might have to go get a new bat. Eighth pitch of the AB. First one for that piece of lumber. Another 3-2 pitch. McKinstry waits on it, sends it in the air to left center. Robles in at first, now out to the track, and he lost it in the sun. The Dodgers and the Los Angeles Sunshine get a run. 1-0 on a McKinstry double.
Dodgers catch a break with the big ball of fire in the sky. Watch these targets, though, right down the middle. Max Scherzer relies on his movement. LaCroix just sits right down the middle. McKinstry spoils that one with a foul ball. And here's the pitch he hit. Right down the middle again. The breaking ball stays up like Kershaw's did, and McKinstry doesn't miss it. It should have been an out. But, boy, that sun just ate him up.
He never saw him. He was coming in on the crack of the bat. Strike one on Barnes. Dunking on him. Two celebrations in one from the rookie. Barnes in the lineup catching Kershaw again today. Behind Scherzer 0-2. He's done his thing making those couple of starts for Kershaw, but he's also hit well.
Everybody clap, clap, clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands.
Scherzer to Barnes with a 1-2 pitch. Chases his slider, and the inning is over. Scherzer gets his first strikeout of the game. But the Dodgers get another 2-out RBI. This one from Zach McKinstry, and it's 1-0.
Be one of the first to experience Dodger Stadium's new home run seats. The new premium seating experience puts you in the action like never before. Visit Dodgers.com/home run seats for more information. Get your gloves ready because home runs are just a swing away.
Now we check out the T-Mobile coverage cam just outside the home run seats on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, where the Dodgers lead the Nationals 1-0. Going for their first sweep of the year. Kershaw against Scherzer. That's ball one. Here's a pitcher who is happy to have hitting back. Max loves to hit. Takes BP every day. He game plans for the opposing pitcher almost as seriously as he game plans for the opposing lineup for his work as a pitcher. He takes a lot of pride in what he does up there. On a 2-0 from Kershaw. He looks at ball three.
Second pitch was a strike. Adrian Johnson behind the plate got some barking from the Dodger dugout. Clayton didn't get the last one close enough to maybe help that barking work out.
There's a strike, 3-1.
Emphatic strike.
That's a strike as well, and the count is full. At a big league awards banquet a few years back, Kershaw was the reigning Cy Young Award winner from the National League. Scherzer was the winner from the American League, so they were sitting at the head table. Seated right between them, Sandy Koufax. Scherzer hits one deep, right center field. Back goes Taylor to the edge of the track with an over-the-shoulder catch. So it became like a class on the curveball. And Scherzer frenetically typing notes into his phone the entire night, trying to make sure he didn't forget anything that he was learning from Sandy, and learned a few things from Kershaw. Can you imagine sitting up there listening to that? Kershaw, Koufax, Scherzer. 3 of the 10 with 3 Cy Youngs. It's the 4th time they've gone head-to-head. They did it as rookies in 2018 when it wasn't as big of a deal. They were both first-round picks, so there was some hype around the matchup. Ball one on Robles, but they were not what they've become, obviously. Faced off game 1 of the division series in 2016 and then again in the regular season in 2018. Neither guy has been very good, actually, in the head-to-head matchups. Both ERAs above 4. Fly to center, Taylor. This one's a little easier. 2 up and 2 down for Kershaw.
Number 7, Trey Turner.
This inning started out a little rocky with Scherzer up there looking like he was going to walk him, but he battled back into that one. 6 fastballs turned into an out.
Turner has one of the 2 Nationals hits, single back in the first inning. And he's got another. Screamer of a line drive into center field to keep this 3rd inning going.
First pitch again, I think, with Trey Turner.
Yeah.
Went right after it.
Number 22, Juan Soto.
Clayton hasn't thrown as many first pitch strikes as he normally has. The first 2 batters of this inning made it 6 for 10. Now it's 7 for 11.
And it's Juan Soto, grounded back to the mound his first time. Turner takes off. Barnes throw, no chance. You get a guy who's 3rd in the majors in stolen bases since his debut. That's his 172nd career steal.
2 ways he can steal the base. He can go on first move, which is pretty much what he did. And if the ball goes to first base, he's still got a chance to beat the ball to second base on the exchange from the first baseman to Corey Seager. But this one, the traditional steal, and he was in easy.
Tying run in scoring position for Soto now. One ball, one strike. Two home runs in yesterday's game, 4 for 9 in this series. On this 1-1, Soto watches ball 2.
Soto with a little bit more respect for Clayton Kershaw, not as accentuated Soto, what do you call it, on his takes?
I didn't name it. Soto Shuffle.
The Soto Shuffle is just a little abbreviated when it's Clayton. I'll give you naming rights if you want to.
I can't claim them.
Okay.
Slicing fly, deep left. McKinstry shy of the warning track, then drifting back onto the edge of it to put it away. Clayton Kershaw with 3 scoreless innings and a 1-0 lead. Joe and his favorite player is Mookie Betts. You can join Junior Dodgers for a chance to be the Junior Dodger of the game. Go to Dodgers.com/JRDodgers. Dodgers 1, Nationals 0. Clayton Kershaw to lead off this third against Max Scherzer. Scherzer gave it a ride in his at-bat his first time, and Kershaw takes the ball. Clayton was interviewed on the home opener on Friday on MLB Network. He said he has a couple very specific goals at the plate. He really wants to hit another home run, and he wants to get a stolen base before his career's over. Waits Scherzer out like Scherzer waited on him, and it goes to 2-1. 1 home run in Kershaw's career. Of course, opening day 2013 broke a scoreless tie against the Giants. Hits a bunch of them during batting practice. Just waiting to run into one more time in a game. Two. Got him swinging. Second K for Scherzer.
Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch-by-pitch breaking news, player updates, stats, leaderboards, and more for the Dodgers and the rest of Major League Baseball.
Gavin Lux sitting leadoff for the second time this year. He's 0 for 1 today. Popped out on the first pitch that he saw. Takes a fastball, strike 1. Looking for his first hit this weekend after he had a hit in every game of the road trip. 0 for 8. One ball, one strike. Good change up there, 1-2. Inside, and the count evens up. Gavin Lux swings and misses at a good cutter from Max Scherzer. He's got his 3rd consecutive K, and 2 out in the 3rd inning.
Number 5.
This ball breaks perfectly. Boy, is it strike for a long time and then ends up down and under the swing. Sometimes his cutter breaks a little bit more like a slider. Sometimes the slider is shorter and tighter like a cutter.
That was his best pitch last year, as so many of his pitches that are usually great struggled. They still hit below 200 against the cutter. Change up good there to get a strike on Seager. Grounded to second his first time. Scherzer home with an 0-1. Other than 2. Able to stay alive. We'll do the 0-2 again.
Trying to use everything to get Corey out. Started him off with the changeup right there, a little cutter inside.
Another 0-2. High fastball taken, 1-2. Scherzer trying to strike out the side in the third. His 1-2 pitch. Got around on it on a bounce in short right. Mercer. Both times he's gotten Seager from short right field. That's a 1-2-3 third for Max Scherzer, and it's 1-0. Fernando's family getting us started here on Fernando Valenzuela Day at Dodger Stadium. What a special weekend this has been. I've got to imagine this is a particularly special day for you. Fernando, our good friend, joins us in the booth, but 40 years?
Really?
What? It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It is. Like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But the 40 years gone so fast, and really, I'm happy to be part of the Dodgers. Still here, and you know, happy.
You remember back in Double-A when you got called up to the big leagues? What was that like?
Yeah. What is that in September, something like that?
September of '80, and then '81
in the playoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really that was got me by surprise, but the same way I was happy because I think that's what everybody looking for, you know, to reach up to the big team.
What did it feel like there that first start in '81 to be surprised to get the ball and then to have the opportunity to get your first start?
Yeah, that surprised me because I think I supposed to pitch the third game of the game of the season, and when Tommy asked me about the if I can pitch that day, the opening day, and I say yes, I'm ready.
Didn't you pitch like a simulated game like the day before or something,
No,
or 2 days before?
Yeah, I was day before I was throwing in the bullpen, little workout.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ryan Zimmerman, leading off this 4th inning for Washington. Clayton Kershaw comes home. Curve is a little bit high. Tell us about when you learned the screwball.
That was in '79 instructionally in Mesa, Arizona, when Bobby Castillo, the other Dodger pitcher, right-hander, teach me how to grip the ball for that pitch.
Show us the grip if you can.
Yeah, right here, like that. And rotation is going that way. So curveballs go this way, but screwball go that way.
So you were on the 2-seam fastball kind of grip, but you did the pressure on this finger?
And this one.
Pressures on this finger.
So that, like this.
And when your hand would get by your ear, was it already in position or did you twist it out front?
No, it has to be on top to be the rotations. Sometimes go away. That's when drop my elbow.
Okay.
So I have to stay on top. So that way the ball is going to go down, straight down. So that's when I release right here. That's when I
twist it a little bit with your wrist.
Yes.
Wow.
How long did it take you before you felt like it was mastered? It was ready to go into a game.
Took me about probably almost a year because I was practice. I remember the numbers wasn't that good, and I want to stop throwing that pitch.
Wow.
Because I want to win. I want to throw strides, and that was hard to control that pitch.
It's a strike. 2-1 on Jordy Mercer.
You had two things that happened in your life where you all of a sudden go into the community and feel like a hero. When you were here in Los Angeles being a Dodger, and then when you go home to Mexico. What was that feeling like to go home to Mexico as a hero?
That was crazy. Yeah, especially when I go to my little town, the people got crazy over there, and sometimes I have to leave for a little bit because I can't.
You couldn't
take
even go to a
everyone.
restaurant. Couldn't go to the grocery store.
No, nowhere. So that was a hard but good experience.
Had I told you, Fernando, as Kershaw comes home here with a 2-2 and Mercer, it's a ground ball to short for Corey Seager. 2 gone. Had I told you when you're 15 years, you didn't start pitching really till you were like 15-ish, right?
Correct.
But had I told you then that a few years down the road, they're going to hold a day with your name on it at Dodger Stadium, what would you have said, 15-year-old Fernando?
Crazy. No, really. You know what? When soon you sign professional, that's because that's got to take as a career. So that's when I start looking little by little, you know, to step by step to climb,
Yeah.
and really never think it's going to be that fast to reach the big leagues. But that was my goal, you know, to one day be in a big league, in a big league team, and happy because Dodgers recognize, you know, it's a big organization, the Dodgers. So that was great. But you know, I never imagined when I start pitching, it's got to be in this kind of stadium, you know, in the city and against all big crowds. You know, that's a dream.
What was the biggest adjustment coming here to America and playing? I know you stayed. Did you stay at Mike Brito's house when you first?
Yeah,
got to the big leagues?
sometimes yes. I stay over there, and then looking for my own, and then I get married, and you know, so was the big help.
Big.
You know. Oh yeah.
I believe he could have played every day in the big leagues. I don't know if he believes it because he loved to hit. He was a great hitter. He could have played every day in the big leagues.
Not really.
Oh, yes, you could.
No. I love to do it because I like to play.
Yeah.
You know, you
Oh,
like
yeah.
to play too, and really, but to be ready every single day that's not easy.
That's true.
That's a base hit into center field for Castro. One of the things, Fernando, that people talk about with you is how much fun it looked like you were having. You played the game with so much joy. What is it that you love about baseball?
Just enjoy, have fun, and I think, you know, this game, and I never thought, like I said before, you know, I'm going to be in this position, so why not enjoying the most?
Yeah.
You know, when you have a chance to be in the mound to pitch, and sometimes, you know, to go 5 or 6, I say, well, it's like play 9 holes in a game in golf. You know?
Right. You want to play 18.
Yeah. Well, I try always, you know, to go all the way. But sometimes you get hit so hard, hey, you have to leave the game. But, you know, but I think the game meant a lot for me.
Your first game in the start of Fernando Mania, and you also talk about the World Series game against the Yankees when you're down 2-0. Were you nervous going into those games? Do you have nerves like normal human beings?
Not really nervous, but I want, like, I want that game right now. You know, like.
Don't want to wait for it.
Yeah. So that's the way I in every game, not only that game, every game I want to. I told myself, I say, I wanted that game to start right now because I'm ready to go and do it my best.
That game Oral's talking about, Game 3 of the World Series in 1981, you played 18 full holes, didn't you? 147
No.
pitches? 147 pitches, Fernando.
That many?
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
unheard of
good
now.
thing in those days we never go for the
I
pitch
meant,
count.
yeah,
Pitch count.
yeah, I'm giving you a hard time.
Remember when
Well, I had a shoulder surgery. You should have had shoulder surgery.
You know, our pitching coach
Right.
Peronowski
Oh,
used
yeah.
to get the accounting
The little
for
clicker.
the
Yeah.
pitchers a little bit. And sometimes I say, hey, Perry, let me see how many pitches I got. So I turn all the way to the zeros.
We would definitely do that. We turn it back to 0, and then before you give it back, you got to click up to like a decent number.
A believable
number.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss for Clayton Kershaw. A great walks off of the mound. A great sits with us here in the booth. A well-deserved special day for our great friend, Fernando Valenzuela.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
There you go, buddy.
Justin Turner riding the longest on-base streak in the majors into this one at 39 games. And he's within, I don't know, shouting distance of Sean Green, the Dodger record, 53 games back in 2000. And he's not just doing it with walks and dink and dunk singles. He's number 2 in the National League in extra base hits this season. First pitch breaking ball from Scherzer, spins outside, ball 1.
All of us were very nervous. Was Justin going to sign back with the Dodgers? So glad that he did, and now getting off to a hot start, putting icing on the cake.
Icing on the Valentine's cake, right? It was Valentine's Day weekend when he made it official.
And wasn't it surprised when he showed up to spring training and we saw this new body?
Yeah.
And people were worried about, okay, he's lost some weight. He looks a little thinner. Is he as strong? What's going to happen? Is he going to be able to hit home runs this year?
Is he going to get any pop left in there? Here he is through 9 games, 7 extra base hits. Only Ronald Acuna has more. Chased here, 2-1. Got down to low 190s at one point on the whole 30 diet, February and March.
Justin, when you watch this replay tonight, because I know you watch every game when you go home, you look good.
2-2.
Oh, we can't be around him anymore. We can't go down to the
it's the only way
cage.
to
I mean,
communicate.
yeah, it's the only way. We should just have conversations with the guys.
You get random calls late at night, random texts responding to things that you said hours earlier in the game. 2-2. To the hole at short. Backhand Turner whips it across and gets him. So Turner's 0 for 2 today, 1 away in the 4th.
The more and more I see Trey Turner, the more and more if he was a guy you could see every single day. There are so many things about his game you would appreciate.
Smooth, isn't he?
Yeah, that's a Mookie Betts kind of guy where we really know how good they are from afar, but you don't realize how good they are until you watch them every single day.
Until you watch the great qualities stack up. And in order to see that happen, it does take more than 3 days at a time like we get to see him. Bases empty, 1 gone. Max Muncy singled his first time and has reached in 5 consecutive plate appearances, running his on-base percentage above .550 for the year. Ball and a strike. Yeah, thanks again to Fernando for spending a minute for us on a day where everybody wants a piece of his time.
It was nice to see him relax and enjoy the day. You know, he's talked about his dry sense of humor. You don't always get to see what he's feeling. And you could just tell that last few days he's been doing a lot of interviews with Jaime Jarrín and a lot of photo sessions coming into the Fernando Mania day. He has enjoyed this weekend. And you get to see his true feelings, what's going on under the skin.
What a special thing for him to be able to sit by Jaime in the Spanish language booth. Jaime is such an important figure behind the scenes in his life and in his career. Jaime was the interpreter as that 1981 season went on and throughout the early stages of his career. And Pepe Iniguez in there as well. It's quite the trio. Muncy down on strikes, 2 away in the 4th.
It's quite a battle between these two 3-time Cy Young Award winners. The only scar on Scherzer's record today is a sun ball in left center. Other than that, it should be a 0-0 grudge match.
Zach McKinstry with 2 gone in the 2nd. Hit it hard, but should have been caught by Robles on the track. He just never found it in the sun. That allowed Muncy to come in to score the game's only run. Taylor flied to right his first time. It takes outside, ball one. One on one. One and two.
It was overcast earlier during batting practice when the guys were getting ready, but the sun came out, and that's been the difference in the game.
Yeah.
The clouds would have stayed over. This thing would be tied. Robles wouldn't have lost that ball.
Good take. And a changeup that falls off of the table evens the count 2-2.
We're going to have to come up with a new phrase for good take.
No, I do say it a lot.
Well, not just but it's just the Dodger lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's their fault. I say it a lot. But
yeah, the chase rate is ridiculous, and the takes are unbelievable.
Good eye. Good take. Spits on it.
Okay.
Just a few.
Whoa, that was close.
Not up in here. No strike for you. Scherzer to Taylor with a 2-2. Way up and in, ball three.
Last year's Dodgers kind of got dominated by sliders. They hit 177. This year they were hovering right around 300 so far this year, but 0 for 7 on the slider today.
This is not like the other sliders. Best one in baseball over the last 5 years. See if he goes to it on 3-2 to Taylor. Instead, a changeup to get him swinging, and he's retired 7 straight since McKinstry's tie-breaking double. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Find great ways to save on a bold new Camry at the We Make It Easy sales event. And by Mercury Insurance. Low rates, big discounts, great insurance. It was on this date in 1962 that Sandy Koufax pitched the Dodgers to their first win in Dodger Stadium history over the Cincinnati Reds. The 1962 season really beginning Sandy's prime. In his career in this ballpark, 57-15 with a 1.37 ERA. He's the only guy with a better Dodger Stadium ERA than Clayton Kershaw. He misses inside, ball one on Jonathan Lucroy. How about 85 starts at Dodger Stadium in Sandy's career? 56 complete games.
A different era, but also a very different pitcher.
One ball, one strike on Lucroy. Curve misses. Final day of the 1966 regular season in Philadelphia. Saturday was rained out, and so it'd be made up as part of a doubleheader the next day if necessary, if it was going to decide the pennant. If they had to play it, Sandy was going to pitch on 2 days rest. Well, the Dodgers lose to the Phillies, Giants beat the Pirates, and so Sandy has to pitch in a must-win game, knowing that if he loses, his career's over. So this is 66. He's decided that he's done at the end of the year. Doesn't have his curveball. He's got to throw nothing but fastballs. And early on, he feels something pop in his back. So every inning, he'd go back into the clubhouse. He'd have one trainer pull on his legs. The other one would pull on his upper body, trying to fix his back. That obviously probably wasn't going to do it, maybe give him some momentary relief. But dealing with all that, you know what he did? Complete game in his final regular season start. Payoff pitch to Jonathan Lucroy. Yanked to short. There's Seager for the first out of the 5th.
Pitcher, Max Scherzer.
Jane Levy wrote a wonderful book, A Lefty's Legacy, on Sandy Koufax, and she said that he was doomed by the time in which he lived, born a decade too soon. No real sports medicine yet. I mean, they did everything they could to try and get him right and make him healthy, let him pitch as long as he could, but Tommy John was in 1974 that came around. Arthroscopic surgery wasn't until the 80s. The 1-1 on Scherzer. So basically pitchers were just pushed until their bodies shut down.
Well, you had things called frozen shoulder, frozen elbow. The advice they were even getting from doctors, because the doctors didn't know, it hadn't been studied yet. And if you were in so much pain and you could still pitch or play, they were telling you that if you continue to play, you're risking not being able to use your arm the rest of your life. You're risking your back being completely locked up and being in a wheelchair the rest of your life. So even the advice they were getting was scary advice that cut their careers short.
4th strikeout for Kershaw, retiring Scherzer. Back to the top of the order in Victor Robles. So he did everything he could, right? Medication for arthritis he took, painkillers, all different kinds of numbing agents.
They used to have this stuff called, and probably still do, but red hot, and they had different levels of red hot, and it was just a skin irritant. They'd say, oh, it puts heat into your body. All it was painful, but it was more painful than the pain you were feeling.
Distract you from it.
Exactly, it distracts you from it. And these guys would lather it all over their arms and their shoulders and on their backs. And, you know, when they take their showers after the games, their pores would open up and they would scream. And they could try and get this stuff off.
Capsulin?
Yeah, Capsulin was like the hottest of the hot.
They called it the atomic bomb. Robles flexes one, short right, lucks over the shoulder, makes the catch, and ends the inning. The Dodgers donated a set of jerseys to the local Little League one time, and the kid that got Sandy's number 32 ran out there so excited and immediately came sprinting back saying, I'm on fire, because there was atomic bomb left over on him.
Yep.
All right, it's time for the
fans of the game, plural today, Jason and Hollywood. Pulled out all his gear for his first Dodger game here in Chavez Ravine in a long time. Edwin Rios sits one in the air to right. And the first pitch from Max Scherzer flies out to Juan Soto. 538 days between games with fans here. From the division series against these Nationals in 19 to opening day on Friday. And it has been an absolute treat to be able to be one of the people in here and enjoy this community again.
A reunion like no other. Coming back to this stadium, to the world champions.
Zach McKinstry. And I know it's 15,000 or so, but it sure feels like a lot more. They've done such a great job of spacing everything out. And it's quote unquote only 15,000, but there's a lot of pent up passion that these 15,000 people each day have.
One of the silver linings to the pandemic was the word appreciation. Just appreciate so much. And the players too. The players appreciate playing the game again when they got back with no fans. They appreciated going to summer camp 2.0 and being around their buddies and working through all the things, the new rules and careful protocols that they had to kind of look after. And how much do we appreciate coming to a ballpark now and, as you put it, opening day, put the soul back in this place.
And I never thought of it like that until the fans weren't here, because it felt soulless when the fans weren't here. 2-2 to McKinstry. Down and in. The count is full.
It goes from a game to a relationship. And I really love for this generation of players to be able to appreciate their career more and the fans more, because when you really realize it as a retired player is when you retire. At that point, a lot of us didn't realize how good we had it. And then when you retire and you go, wow, I should have appreciated it more. Well, this generation of players has that lesson before they reach retirement. So they got to come back to this and go, wow, I appreciate my career at a completely different level now.
Another payoff to McKinstry. Popped up on the infield. Does the Sun have any say on this one? Not this time. Turner's got it. Let's check in with Kirsten Watson.
As you guys talk about just so much appreciation for the sport being back and fans being back, Clayton Kershaw actually talked about what he learned about playing in the pandemic in 2020, and he said that he learned that sports are more important than just the game itself. It's a place for people to escape. It gives them just an escape from whatever is going on, and so he really realized that sports just means so much to so many different people.
And he also said kind of what you're touching on, Oral. He realized he's not ready to be done yet. Here's Barnes taking a strike, having sat out for those few months where they're getting things lined up to have what they could of a 2020 season.
You get a taste of it when you're injured, but you got a full meal with the pandemic.
0-2. Yeah, way too much. Pushing the plate away.
Yeah.
That's enough perspective for 1 year. Take the check, please. Barnes swats one in the air towards the right field corner, but Soto will track it down, and Max Scherzer, outside of the 2 hits in the second, has been perfect. Problem for him in the National is that Clayton Kershaw has given up nothing through 5. Performance spotlight. A duel living up to the billing here. Clayton Kershaw and Max Scherzer. 3 Cy Youngs apiece. 1 run against them combined through 5 innings, and onto the 6th we go.
They are showing us exactly what was built today. Sometimes you have these great matchups and you end up with a 5-4 game, but not today. These guys have brought their A game. And look at that. 2 numbers next to BB. They don't walk anybody. You're going to have to hit them.
Kind of seems like more often than not that's the case, where you build up a matchup like this and then, yeah, it's a little bit of a offensive game. Trey Turner's swung at the first pitch both times and singled both times, so Kershaw says, I'm starting you with a curve.
Well, he hit a slider, then he hit a fastball, and how he gets the curveball, he takes it.
The chess match. Back-to-back curveballs. This one in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Nationals again out hitting the Dodgers. They out hit them last night 15-9, but lost 9-5. Out hitting them today 4-2, but trailing 1-0. Bounced along third. They'll have to pray that this thing rolls foul, or else he might get a double out of it. There it goes. Oh my goodness. Fair ball. Infield single, Trey Turner. You couldn't have walked out there and set it on the line any more direct.
Swinging bunt. And it is a perfect bunt. And Justin Turner, you see him cock his head towards first, like I can't let him round first and go to second.
Right. So you got to get down there on your hands and your knees and start huffing and puffing and blowing the thing foul. You're going to take a whole lot. So Turner's been on all 3 times. He's got 3 of the 5 Nationals hits, and he can fly. He's already got a stolen base. Soto comes up and fouls it off, strike 1. Blake Treinen beginning to warm. Kershaw 76 pitches.
This is what is known as high leverage with no out and this guy at the plate.
0-2.
Clayton has attacked him with the fastball today. Really not wanting to throw him a breaking ball for a strike. Really saying you're going to have to beat me so far with the hard stuff away. Let's see if he sticks with that pattern.
0-2. Went to the curve, kicks away. Turner's headed for second. Barnes' throw not in time. The tying run is in scoring position with nobody out.
Well, the at bat just got a little easier for Soto. With 2 strikes, he's seen the breaking ball in the dirt now. And what he's looking to do, of course, is to drive Turner in, but at least now that he's on second, move him over to third.
It's in a little bit lower stance as he does with 2 strikes. And looks at strike 3 over the outside corner. Kershaw gets Soto.
89 right on the corner. It is a very firm slider that acts like a cutter. Soto reads it and the spin like it's going to break more, and it doesn't. It hangs right on the corner.
Strikeout number 5 for Kershaw. 5 more. Everybody gets a jumbo jack. Dodgers 1, Nationals nothing. Ryan Zimmerman, who's 0 for 2. Chops one to short. Corey Seager. 2 gone just like that.
Second baseman Jordy Mercer.
Up to Jordy Mercer. 3 hits in his Nationals debut yesterday. 0 for 2 today. Kershaw coming in with the first one and missing, ball 1.
If you've ever moved a big pile of gravel or a big pile of dirt from like your driveway to the backyard, that's how this inning started out. That big pile. Right about now, it's like you feel like you're only a few shovelfuls away from completing the deal, but you're still not done.
It's a good feeling, though.
It sure is.
1-0 pitch. Ball 2. After Mercer, it's Starlin Castro, who has 2 hits today.
And after you've gotten your last shovelful, you get the broom out and clean the driveway off. That's what the Dodgers are hoping to do today. They're looking for a sweep.
Wow. Full circle.
So deep.
So good. Turner at second, 2-0. That's at the knees and a strike, 2-1.
That same type of slider, and we saw that in Oakland where he had the one that doesn't break quite as much, but it's a little firmer, and then he's got one with the same exact spin on it that the hitter's reading, but it breaks a lot. He used it with Soto to punch him out, the shorter one, and he used it right there to steal a strike.
See what he does on 2-1. Down and in with the slower version of it, ball 3.
Yeah, you can see from 89 where it stayed up on the knee to 87 and was hoping to get a chase. This is where you pick your poison. The guy at the plate or the guy in the on-deck circle, Castro.
Kershaw to Mercer, 3-1, 3-2. Have had their chances today. Kershaw's been able to slam the door each time. Can he do it again in the 6th? The payoff pitch. He struck him out. And he's held the Nationals to 0 for 9 with runners on base today, taking a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the 6th. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. The Steakhouse Angus Stick Burger is back at Carl's Jr. Feed your happy. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Obviously Fernando, and the man that signed him, Mike Brito. Legendary scout. Same guy that helped find Puig, same guy that signed Julio Urias, Victor Gonzalez. Ball 1 on Beatty. Beatty pinch hitting for Kershaw, ending his day. Ahead 2 balls and no strikes on Scherzer. Good job by Clayton Kershaw to get out of the jam. The Nationals had base runners in 5 of the 6 innings, but 0 for 9 with runners on. .3-0 on Beatty. Corey Knebel loosening in the Dodger bullpen. So we talked. We've talked Mike Brito, we've talked Fernando, we've talked the screwball. How about the way they're all connected? 3-0 pitch. A 4-pitch walk to open the inning for Beatty. So Mike Brito, he was a minor league catcher before he was a scout for the Dodgers. Once he started scouting, he would play in adult leagues in LA. Well, one Sunday afternoon, he's playing in an adult league in East LA. And he strikes out on a pitch where he says he almost broke his back swinging at it, and he had no idea what this pitch was. So he goes out of his way after the game to find this pitcher that got him and said, "What was that? And who are you?" Well, it was Bobby Castillo, and it was a screwball. So Mike Brito signs him with a Mexican League team, gets him an opportunity there because the Dodgers don't want to hear about this guy from an LA adult league. He does well in the Mexican League. Soon after that, the Dodgers see enough to sign him. Bobby Castillo goes on to teach Fernando Valenzuela his screwball. Gavin Lux the hitter. And so to think about the iterations there, the butterfly effect, Mike Brito has said, if I don't play in that Sunday adult league game, and if I don't get struck out by Bobby Castillo never gets signed by the Dodgers. And if Bobby Castillo never gets signed by the Dodgers, Fernando never learns his screwball. Grounded foul. Fernando would tell you if he never learns his screwball, probably not Fernando.
He would have been a big leaguer, but probably not Fernando. That pitch was like an optical illusion when he first got to the big leagues, and he continued to perfect it as he was here. As he said, as he talked to us back in the 4th, it took him about a year to really learn it. But boy, he could make it go sideways. He could make it go down. That combined with a 90-plus fastball and a very good curveball. An unbelievable athletic ability that Fernando has inside his body. Great golfer to this day. Great hitter, great thrower of the ball, great fielder. Played with a great joy.
1-2 on Lux. You know, it's been years since anybody has thrown a screwball in the majors. A guy named Brent Honeywell made his debut for the Tampa Bay Rays today. Guess what he's known for? A screwball. There's another Dodger that threw a screwball on Mike Marshall. Brent Honeywell is related to Mike Marshall. Mike Marshall taught Brent's dad the pitch. Brent's learned it from his dad and now rode it to the major leagues. Lux battling against Scherzer. 1-0 game, bottom of the 6th. Beatty at first with the leadoff walk. Lux fouls it back and we'll do it again. Hall of Famer Carl Hubble of the New York Giants is the guy that coined the term screwball. The guy who was playing catch with one day said that was a screwy pitch. So they had a name for it. Good stop there by Lucroy on ball 2 to Lux. He says it took him 6 years to master it. Fernando, it took a year. It took Carl Hubble 6 years to master his screwball. He was in his late 70s when Fernando debuted with his, and he said, that is the best one I've seen since my own. Full count on Lux.
You might be at home saying, so what is this screwball? How do you throw it? Fernando explained it like a 2-seam fastball. Pressure on his swearing middle finger, and then twist the doorknob backwards. Don't twist it the conventional way, the way your shoulder works. You have to go inwards.
Lux, what a catch by Zimmerman, a double play. That thing was blistered down the line, but Zimmerman gloved it, and Beatty was dead to rights.
Shortstop, Corey Seager.
Freeze on a line drive, a half a step to second. But it didn't matter. Even if he'd have froze or even broke back as soon as the ball was hit, Zimmerman was only a step from the bag.
So they're empty for Corey Seager. Takes way inside ball 1. 2 groundouts to second for Seager.
In some ways, Scherzer deserves a break after having the only run score on a sun ball.
1-0 pitch. Seager down the line. That is a fair ball into the corner. Soto loads up, guns to second late. Corey Seager with a double, and the Dodgers with their first hit since McKinstry's RBI double in the second inning.
Dodgers starting to look for the cutter inside. They got fooled the first few times around, but there the cutter is slightly up, doesn't get all the way to the inside corner, and Corey Seager does not miss it. He might not be hitting the home runs that he was hitting in bunches in spring training, but he is hitting the ball hard this year.
So how big does that double play look now? It'll be costing the Dodgers a run on the double from Seager. Up to Turner here with 2 gone in a 1-0 game in the 6th. Ball 1. Turner run out of chances to extend that on base streak, sitting at 39 games, 0 for 2 today. This will be the 90th pitch from Scherzer. At short, Trey Turner. That's the inning. 2-out double from Seager, but nothing to show for it. Through with 6, and this has been everything you would hoped when you saw Kershaw, Scherzer. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, the newest, friendliest, and safest casino resort. Good times. Dodgers 1, Nationals nothing, and a Zach McKinstry second inning double. Kershaw and Scherzer has been as advertised, and it looks like Max Scherzer's day may be finished, getting the handshakes and high fives. And through 6 innings at 90 pitches, holding the Dodgers to just that one sun-aided run in the second inning.
They could sue for lack of support.
Kershaw's day is done as well. Corey Knebel has been one of the stars for this Dodger team early on, comes out of the bullpen.
Well, Kershaw with the majority of breaking balls and successful against this Washington lineup. That's probably what Knebel's going to go with. His curveball is his ace pitch.
Starlin Castro, 2 for 2 today, takes that curveball low, ball 1. Turner's got 3 hits. Castro has 2. Everybody else combined 0 for 18. Well, they asked Corey Knebel what's been his favorite part about being a Dodger so far, and he said, honestly, it's getting to see Clayton Kershaw do his work, getting to know him personally, and then selfishly getting to be the guy to follow Kershaw in a couple of outings. His Dodger debut was only 4 pitches, but it was 4 pitches to strand a base runner that Kershaw had left, and that was a really special moment for Knebel. Following him here, 1-0 7th inning. Ahead of Castro 1-2 with 97. Curve is yanked to third, knocked down by Turner, sticks with it, throws him out.
Dodgers single game tickets for the month of April are on sale now. Be sure to get your seats to see the Dodgers take on the Rockies April 13th, 14th, and 15th. Visit Dodgers.com/tickets.
After an off day tomorrow, Tuesday through Thursday this week, those two teams go at it. Yadiel Hernandez comes up. One and 0.
Mark Kirsten Watson had an interview with Corey Knebel, and Knebel talked about his work ethic, but also how much work it is to throw that curveball. He said it's really more effort to throw the curveball than the fastball. And that's actually something that Sandy Koufax taught me. He said, you know, the curveball is not a rest pitch. The curveball is a harder working pitch than the fastball, because on the fastball, your hand, when you throw it properly, is behind or on top of the ball. But with the curveball, you're using that same full arm speed, and you got to get your fingers in your hand to the front of the baseball.
Lux, 2 out.
So you have to work harder, of course, with your arm and your hand to get to the front of the ball, but you got to work harder with your body, because you have to maintain your mechanics and your posture a split second longer, because you got to get to the front. So if you try to throw it early and your fingers are only on the top or behind, you cast it and it's a hanger. But if you can wait and be strong enough to maintain your posture, you can throw the curveballs like Kershaw and Knebel do.
The way he put it, throw the heck out of it. Couple ground outs here in the 7th. Here's Lucroy. I cut you off there. What were you going to say?
No. Off speed doesn't mean take time off. It's work. It really helped my curveball. I went from what is known as a high school curveball, where it kind of pops out of your hand and rolls, and the big league hitter recognizes it early, to one that comes out level and then breaks.
1 ball, 1 strike. At what point did that happen for you?
Going into my 2nd year in AAA.
Okay.
As Sandy started working with me in instructional league in 1979, and my 2nd year in AAA was 1983.
Lucroy flies it to center field. No big deal. Chris Taylor. 1-2-3 7th for Corey Knebel, who's pitched 4 1/3 in a Dodger uniform and not allowed a hit.
Nationals. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers this Friday, presented by Cadillac.
Dodgers 1, Nationals 0. Bottom of the 7th. Scherzer's out and Tanner Rainey comes on. They merged into the setup role last season. They think perhaps a future closer, although his year got off to a rough start. Give up a home run to the Panda in his debut against the Braves on Wednesday back in D.C. Pablo Sandoval still kicking around, doing big things for the Braves.
Rainey has thrown 100% fastballs this year to left-handed hitters. We don't have the current breakdown of his pitch, but pitch selection, I know he throws a fastball and a slider, and that fastball is going to hover around 95.
Heart of the order for the Dodgers coming up. Muncy, Taylor, and Rios. So no matter what he throws, you get a guy like Scherzer out of the game, you exhale a little bit and say, here's our chance. run of the game coming in the second inning. If you happen to just be joining us, the sun played a role in it. Victor Robles, the center fielder for the Nationals, never saw it off of the bat of McKinstry and landed on the warning track, allowing Muncy to come in to score with 2 gone. Single and a strikeout for Muncy today. 1-1 from Rainey. In the air to left center. Hernandez.
Center fielder number 3, Chris Taylor.
For Taylor, the home run yesterday is his only hit of this series. 0 for 2 today and 1 for 10 this weekend. Dodgers looking for their first sweep of the year, trying to improve their major league best record. 7-2 at this point. And close to half of it by now has been without Cody Bellinger. 4 games in a row now without Mookie Betts. Still averaging 6 runs per game. Only the Reds better in the NL. Strike 1. Muscled into shallow right. Soto will have to play it in a bounce. Only the second hit for the Dodgers since McKinstry's RBI hit in the second inning. And yes, that is a classic barrels are overrated knock.
Right there, number 43, Edwin.
It's one of those hits that the reason you wear batting gloves. You wear batting gloves so you don't get blisters and calluses on your hands with all the swings you take as a big leaguer and when you love baseball. But that one right there cuts down on the vibrations. It's the different barrels overrated right there.
Yeah, that literally is shaking his hands out.
Yeah. Yeah, the sarcastic barrels overrated. They just kind of let their hands just kind of hang limp and they shake. But that was seriously like, wow.
Rios couple flyouts today. Uneventful day in right. In fact, the Nationals have not hit a ball to him in right field yet. That's one of the things you bank on when Kershaw is pitching, is that there aren't going to be a ton of balls hit to right.
You know, we talk barrels overrated. We talk bee stings, shake your hands out. That's what that thumb guard is for that you see hitters wearing. Rios has one on his top hand, that white object that's foam. And so if you get jammed as the bat goes back into your hand, instead of getting a bruise, it goes into that pad. Same kind of material is used with catchers that catch really hard throwers that can't get it exactly in the pocket. They'll put a sponge in their glove.
Early day catchers used to put a ribeye in there. Slab of cold meat.
Then grill it up after the game.
It might be grilled by the end of the game.
It's tenderized.
That's for sure. Play a doubleheader. That baby be medium rare already.
The early ones were really literally sponges that were taped up with athletic tape. And then as machines got more sophisticated and laser cutting, and you could get it exactly custom designed, formed for your hand, formed for your thumb.
Taylor at first, 1 out. Another 0-2 pitch from Rainey to Rios. Lays off a back foot breaker, ball 1.
That is a big bat to stop. And the longer your lever system, the harder it is to check swing, because that object out there farther away is moving faster and it's got a little more weight to it.
Looking for some insurance in the 7th inning. Looking for the sweep over the Nationals. Fouls off another. Still 1-2.
Edwin might be in between the fastball and the slider in this at bat mentally, because that was a 94-mile-an-hour slider, and he kind of just a short, quick hack at it. Like he might have been thinking off speed.
Hit sharply on a line to right. Soto's got it. Or does it have him? That thing got there in a hurry.
Edwin scorched that ball. He wasn't in between on that one. He got the fastball up and he hit it solid. Soto one more step in, that would have been painful for him, because I think it would have got over his head. But just a slight misread of about a step and a half, but he recovered.
All right, first 2 gone. Here's McKinstry, who's driven in the game's only run. Only 2 hits in his last 16 at-bats, but they've both been big ones. Go-ahead RBI single in the 2nd inning yesterday, and the lone RBI hit today. Ball 1. We keep talking about it. Here it is. The 2nd inning, it was not quite as sunny as it is now, but almost worse, right? Almost that hazy sunshine that Robles couldn't find the ball in. One ball, 1 strike. Shows bunt and takes what is called a ball. Sometimes you see that the umpire misses those ones after the square. He'll take it.
We've seen him lay the bunt down before.
There's nobody over there on the left side.
No.
Swings away this time, lofts it to right center field, back towards the wall and gone. Zach McKinstry, a 2-run home run. He's driven in all 3.
Well, this guy's a baseball player. When you're a baseball player, you do anything you can to help the team win. Oh, thinking about a bunt? Well, the next pitch, home run. Very nice, Zach. Congratulations. 2nd home run, but the other one was it inside the Parker, so he's got one that cleared the fence.
He's got one at Dodger Stadium. Never hit a home run in college against that murderer's row of pitching that the MAC throws at you. Another than 2 on Barnes. Didn't hit for much power first year or 2 in the minors either. Packed on weight, changed his swing, and changed his life. Barnes down swinging. And that ends the inning, but a 2-run home run from Zach McKinstry, who's having the game of his life in the big leagues here. A 2-run home run, and he's driven in all 3 today.
Dodgers calendar. This week we've got the Rockies coming to Los Angeles before the Dodgers head to the Padres for the first series. Very highly anticipated series against the San Diego Padres. All games on SNLA. Joe?
All right, Kirsten, they lead this one 3-0. Defensive changes for you. A.J. Pollock comes in. He plays left. Zach McKinstry goes from left to right. Edwin Rios comes out. You can put Pollock in the pitcher's spot, which is due up to open the bottom of the 8th. Blake Treinen on to pitch the top of the 8th.
When you think Blake Treinen, you think movement, especially on the two-seamer and the slider. But right now, with Joe Kelly and the bazooka out, he's the hardest thrower out of that pen.
Pinch hitter here, Andrew Stevenson for the Nationals, leading off the 8th. He bunts it to third, and it rolls foul.
Heady play by Justin Turner, realizing as he got to that ball, there's no way he's throwing him out. So let's take a look at the spin. Like a good wedge at Augusta, it spun off the green.
Did I go final there?
I don't know.
No, not quite, apparently.
Joe, I'm concentrating on the game.
Clearly, me too. But I know our back row has
vested interest.
Yes, very good at multitasking. Almost hit Stevenson, 1-1. Andrew Stevenson, 26 years old, his 5th year with Major League time. It's mostly been as a pinch hitter or a defensive replacement. He's never started more than 12 games in a year, but getting a bunch of time here in this first week. Swings and misses, 1-2. He's hit 3 home runs in his Major League career. 2 of them came in the same game against Jacob deGrom. One was inside the park, one was over the fence. Both count. On a 1-2 from Treinen. Watches it miss low. Fly to shallow center field. Turner can't quite get there. Leadoff single, Andrew Stevenson. That thing ate him up, but he was able to push it out there for a pinch hit base hit.
Chris Taylor got a barrels are overrated base hit, and then a bloop and a blast for the Dodgers. 2 runs in the 7th. Here they get their bloop. Let's just stay away from the blast.
65-mile-per-hour exit velocity there.
Yesterday we were glad the Dodgers tacked on in the 7th with A.J. Pollock's bases clearing double. 2 runs in the 7th today feel better too.
Swatted to right by Robles. That's in front of McKinstry. Well read by Stevenson to get into second safely. And the Nationals have the tying run at the plate in the form of Trey Turner.
Stevenson doesn't read that perfectly. McKinstry plays it very well. He knows he's got a possible force, charges it, spins, throws accurately. Stevenson there by about a half a step.
You're flirting with big time danger here if you're Blake Treinen. These 2 hits. Turner to the plate now. Soto on deck. And already McKinstry's home run feels monstrous.
A couple of bleeders.
Trey Turner 3 for 3 against Clayton Kershaw. Gave up 5 hits total. Turner had 3.
Almost impossible guy to double up.
First and second, nobody out. Here comes Blake Treinen. Dives in there at 97, 0-1. Trying it against his old team. One pitch. Slider for strike two.
Two places you can get a double play. Ground ball that gets Turner going towards third, step on the bag, go to first, and a firm ground ball to Gavin Lux right up the middle by the second base bag. If there has to be a feed from Muncy or Seager, you're not going to get two.
Good stop by Barnes. Blake Treinen broke into the majors as a starter, back and forth between the rotation and the bullpen. And first full big league season, that was 2015. That was when he moved into the bullpen full time, and it corresponded with the arrival of Max Scherzer in Washington. No more room in that rotation when he showed up. Trying into Turner with a 1-2 offering. Tacked foul. We'll do it again.
Very hitterish approach right there to that pitch. You know, there's only one fielder on the right side. He's in a battle. And he just tried to push that fastball over there to the right side of the diamond.
Stevenson at second. Robles at first. Great speed on the bases. Great speed at the plate. Taken in the dirt, 2-2.
Blake is so good at the bottom of the strike zone, but every once in a while against a great hitter like Turner, you might want to change his eye line.
Here comes a 2-2. Oh, well, Barnes was set up inside. The pitch was to the outside half. Didn't get the call from Adrian Johnson. Full count.
It is a strike. Sometimes on those great moving pitches, I think the umpire sees it the same place a hitter does, about 15 feet out in front of home. I don't think they always see the very end of it when it glances in and hits the corner.
Eighth pitch coming. 3-0 game in the 8th inning. Back-to-back singles against Treinen to make Turner the tying run. Here it comes. He struck him out with the cutter for the first out of the 8th.
Right fielder number 22, Juan Soto.
Clayton Kershaw walked a tightrope to keep this score at 0. Blake Treinen is right at the beginning of his adventure.
Yeah, the adventure is reaching a climax here with Juan Soto stepping into the left-handed batter's box, representing the tying run. Best hitter in baseball last year. 2 home runs in last night's game.
What a different game with those 2 insurance runs.
Buries the first one. Turned it up to 99, but it's in front of the plate, and it's 1-0.
Great stop from Austin Barnes. At 99, no time to block it. Just backhand it.
Kenley Jansen warming. Kershaw for 6 shutout innings. Knebel with a 1-2-3 7th. It's Treinen here in the 8th. His 1-0 is high, ball 2. 2-0 pitch. 3 balls, no strikes. After Soto with Zimmerman.
He will have the green light.
It's got to be a scary thing if you're the pitcher.
He's pulled both of his home runs. Kershaw worked him away.
Green light. Fly ball center field. Chris Taylor will put it away, and on 3-0, Juan Soto flies out to center.
It was the approximate pitch location that he hit his home run on last night. This had a little cutting action. He was very frustrated. The bat got thrown. The helmet got thrown. He wanted it. Treinen won the battle.
Up to Zimmerman. 0 for 3 today after 3 hits last night. Dodgers 3, Nationals nothing. They won game 1 1-0. They won game 2 9-5. They're going for the sweep this afternoon. And the first one to Zimmerman, down and away for ball 1. Softly hit. Treinen's there. Throws to first. In time. And the inning is over. Blake Treinen against the heart of the lineup. Able to get out of it and keep him in front 3-0.
We got what we expected. Max Scherzer was great. Clayton Kershaw, 6 scoreless.
Kersh was awesome. How about return of the Mac? Zach McKinstry, impressive.
We'll break it all down right after the game. See you soon.
3-time All-Star closer Brad Hand ready to make his Nationals debut. We'll be sure to stay tuned for Access Sportsnet Dodgers presented by your Southern California Ford dealers. Dodgers leading this game 3-0. Hand was one of the 9 players that started the season on the injured list for COVID protocols. Flew out here Friday morning. They didn't have a chance to use him on Saturday, trailing that game by a bunch late, but they're going to bring him in here with it being tight enough, and figure you got him, you might as well use him and try and keep it here. A.J. Pollock to lead it off. Came on defensively last inning. Goes after the first pitch. Hits it way up there in left center field where Robles will make the catch.
Have you stocked up on your new World Series champions gear yet? The Top of the Park store is now open Tuesday through Saturday at Dodger Stadium. See Instagram at Dodgers Top of the Park for store hours and details. You can even get home delivery.
Back to the top, Gavin Lux. Perhaps last chance for him to get his first hit of this series, 0 for 10. Although he hit it really hard his last time. He was caught at first by Zimmerman. And the old San Diego Padre. This is down and away, ball 1. Looks like for the 9th inning for the Dodgers, it'll be Kenley Jansen, Mercer, Castro, and Hernandez due up. Treinen was able to get through the guys that really strike the fear into you. Turner, Soto, Zimmerman. After the Nats had put him at first and second, leading into those guys. And different game, same story for the Nationals. Out hitting the Dodgers today, but they've gone 1 for 13 with men on base. 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position.
Dodgers have done a very nice job, their pitching staff, of not giving them any free passes in this series. They've been able to get their hits, but they haven't been able to really get their hits with runners in scoring position or men on. The Dodgers have only walked 2 guys in the series.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Huh? For winning games and for the entertainment quality. Two and 2 on Lux. off tomorrow. Rockies on Tuesday. 3 with Colorado, and then they head to San Diego. Soft bounce to first. Zimmerman to the bag, and Lux is on number 2.
Shortstop, number 5, Corey Seager.
There's Corey Seager. Lays off, ball 1. Now Dave Roberts, by the way, announced him before the game. Bauer, May, Urias for the 3 games against Colorado. And that then lines up Kershaw, or Buehler, Kershaw, Bauer against the Padres. The way he put it, pitching gymnastics. They get everything lined up the way they want. A lot of things go into that equation. Get extra days of rest for guys when they can. They kept Kershaw on regular rest for today. Bumped Dustin May back a few days. That also means the Rockies have to face May for the first time. They don't get a second look at Kershaw. And it lines up your top 3 against San Diego.
Dustin threw a light side work today, getting ready for his start.
Two and 2 on Seager. Seager down swinging. Brad Hand with a good Nationals debut. To the 9th inning we go. The Dodgers 3, the Nationals nothing, and Kenley Jansen on to try and close it out. Zach McKinstry's driven in all 3 Dodger runs. Kershaw against Scherzer has lived up to its billing. 3-0 to the 9th inning. Joe, Orl, and Kirsten, and Kenley Jansen on to try and close it out, on to try and bounce back from his last outing where he blew the save in Oakland.
We'll be watching to see the consistency of the cutting action on his fastball. The 2-seamer usually throws it a little bit harder. Likes that pitch to touch 94. The cutter can come in anywhere from 88 to about 91. And then he's also got the slider, but he hasn't thrown many of those yet this year.
Cutter was only a strike 48% of the time against Oakland. That being his primary pitch, he'll be able to throw it at a higher rate. It's not that he hasn't had it at any point this year. He looked great in his season debut in Colorado. He's just trying to lock in that consistency again. A pinch hitter, Luis Garcia, for Jordy Mercer to open the 9th. First one from Jansen is poked foul. He wastes no time attacking Kenley. Garcia just 20 years old. He debuted last year as the youngest player in the majors. Got an opportunity when Starlin Castro broke his wrist. And did some good things. Jansen's 0-1. Swing and a miss, 93, 0-2. Castro and Hernandez to follow. Strikes him out on 3 pitches and pulls 95 out of his back pocket.
Velocity gives you confidence. Accuracy gives you outs. It's one of the best balls he's thrown in the last few years. And it wasn't a cutter. It was a 2-seamer that he stayed behind and just drove to that outside corner.
Castro, 2 hits today. That was the cutter at 94.
That's what they.
No, this pitch right here. You were looking down. It was.
I apologize. Yeah. Yes, it was. He was putting some big time work pregame, hours before the game, actually thrown into the padded wall out in the stadium. Looked like they were
at 94.
Yeah, looked like they were working on his alignment, how he takes the ball out of his glove and then drives towards home plate, keeping everything in line. This is a very good sign.
Three straight cutters at 94 miles per hour from Kenley Jansen. The stimulus of folks sitting in the seats at Dodger Stadium perhaps playing a role too for the big fella. He talked about, and a lot of closers did, how that was tough last year, not having the energy of coming into those tight games late that comes from the crowd. 1-2. They got him. 94, 94, 94, 94, 2 out.
This one was exceptional though, because it's 94 and still has tremendous movement. I mean, this one moves an awful lot. It's pretty enough on its own.
If there was a way to speak that emoji with the big eyes and the mouth like, whoa, I would do that. Yadiel Hernandez in on him with 94. Kenley Jansen, good to see ya. 3-0 the final score. They sweep the Nationals and start the season 8-2.
You watch him pitch a ninth like that, you look at your neighbor on the bench and you go, wow, nice to have him back.
Yeah, that's the look. He's got the look.
Well, look who was on the mound today. You had Kershaw. He's now 100 games over 500. Knebel, Treinen, and then Kenley with that night. That is some kind of pitching.
That's some kind of hitter right there today. Zach McKinstry drives in all 3. RBI double and a 2-run home run. And the Dodgers sweep the Washington Nationals to move to 8-2 on this young season. Kershaw the winner on Fernando Valenzuela Day, winning the duel against Max Scherzer. For Orr Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew, Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Off day tomorrow. Rockies coming to town on Tuesday. Stay tuned. Access Sportsnet Dodgers begins now.